Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Super 80s Podcast Friend. We are a TV theme song explorer with one mission, and that is to analyze every single 1980s TV theme song. Comedies, dramas, cartoons, soap operas, game shows.
Got the idea.
Yeah, you get the general idea. Anyway, like them or hate them, we're gonna analyze all of them. Speaking of like, we hope you like us, and if you do, please like and subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast. Leave a review on Apple Podcast, all that good stuff. And just as important, if you want to talk to us, please reach out with questions, comments, observations, jokes. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram,
Threads,
and super80spodcastfriend at gmail.com. By the way, I'm John.
I'm Ryan.
and I'm Pete.
And we like to start out with a drink. It's episode 51.
Woo!
Wow.
Yeah.
Prime number?
Is it?
Yes.
Super 80s.
Prime episode.
Super 80s math friend. We like to start out with a drink. What you got there on episode 51?
I've got water slides.
Three Sheeps.
Yeah.
And I've got the IPA from New Glarus.
Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, New Glarus.
No, not New Glarus. the New Glarus seasonal IPA. Anonymous statistician, if you could be so kind as to let us know if the New Glarus just called IPA has been on. Speaking of new to the podcast, I'm having the Revolution Anti-Hero.
Oh, yeah.
Cheers, fellas.
Cheers.
Prost.
I was hoping the other week when you said, have I told you guys my Salem's Lot story? That statistician was going to, anonymous statistician was going to come back and be like, actually, you've told it 3 times.
I know, I was so nervous. I think we're clear on that one. He's pretty good. So I was super nervous as well. All right. Well, let me take a drink here. We encourage you to have a drink as well. Let us know what you're drinking. What's in your glass in Connecticut or Delaware or Sweden or wherever the hell else people are listening to us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we've
Maryland.
got the pleasantries out of the way,
Yes.
it's time for retractions, observations, ideas, and announcements. For those keeping score, episode 50 was Miami Vice, episode 49 was Solid Gold, episode 48 was TJ Hooker, possibly, and episode 47 was
Oof.
We Got It Made, maybe.
Yeah, all right.
We got it made?
That was the one about the
Wasn't that like 38?
maybe.
I
It's
don't
all a
know.
blur.
I don't know.
So I didn't have time to watch an episode of Solid Gold, but I did queue it up and just skip and just kind of catch each of the. It was kind of crazy. Johnny Mathis was a co-host,
Interesting.
and but the range of music from Celine Dion, Sting was a guest. They just had so many different. Anything that was popular, basically.
Yeah.
And Arsenio Hall did an appearance, but as a comedian, not as a host yet. And the dancing is weird.
It is.
And they introduced them, and they kind of they just had one name, and they're wearing a bunch of sequins. It kind of reminded me of American Gladiators
Yeah.
in that sense.
Yeah. I can see it.
Yeah, I can see it
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. I maybe sometime if I have more time, I will give it a shot because I do like 80s music. So I'm very
Right.
curious what a full episode could be. A lot of crap with some good stuff, snuck in there. And then I mentioned throughout the episode they had multiple cuts to. They interviewed Sting throughout the. Yeah.
So a lot of shit going on.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And some flashback stuff. They did a tribute to the Beatles at some point.
Man. All in 45 minutes.
It was weird.
Well, I watched Solid Gold as well.
All right.
Hold on, let me grab my notes if we can stay on topic here a little bit. Hold on a minute here. Do you recall what season you were watching?
No, I did not take notes. It might have been 5 or 6 though.
We love it. Solid Gold. So I watched a season 2 episode. Totally different version of the theme song. It was abbreviated, and there was
Interesting.
no Dionne Warwick that I could hear.
So did that immediately enhance it for you?
And it didn't have any of the pop art of season 1 either.
Oh.
It was quick. It was abbreviated and quick. The hosts of season 2 were Andy Gibb and Marilyn McCoo.
Yeah.
A lot of, like Pete said, I concur, a lot of different artists. Dr. Hook, Olivia Newton-John, Huey Lewis and the News.
Nice.
All live on the show.
Oh, I just remembered. there was somebody called Cock Robbins on the show.
Come on. Adult film star?
No, he was a musician.
What?
Oh, are you guys familiar with Dr. Hook?
Yeah.
Not good. They had a background singer on stage with the regular singer just wearing an eye patch doing some creepy dancing.
Oh.
Okay.
That's
Dr. Hook
weird.
song, not good. Something about making her blue jeans talk. That was the name of the song, I believe.
Okay.
Huh.
It's about
Yeah.
farting.
That's a
Sorry,
great joke.
I live with a 12-year-old. Sometimes I can't help it.
That's a great joke, yeah.
The weird puppet Madam. She was
yeah.
on. She had 2 spots.
Yes.
Nice.
One with Andy Gibb and one with Marilyn McCoo.
Yes.
And the audience was just eating it up. They thought it was the funniest shit in the world. One of the things I noticed about the episode is it's like a top 10 countdown.
Right.
And for every song, they play like 30 seconds, and the Solid Gold dancers come out and do some creepy, freaky shit.
Yeah.
It was uncomfortable. A lot of weird,
fast, jerky movement.
Yeah. And like for one of the dances, it might just be one person dancing by themselves. Some it might be 3. The lighting was dark.
And I've heard a lot of it, like, not never, but it typically didn't relate at all to the song, like the lyrics or like there was no theme.
So good. Huey Lewis was on there lip syncing Do You Believe in Love? That was cool. There was a stand-up comedian, 2 stand-up comedians. There was a video, proto video for the Cars Shake It Up, and it was just a bunch of weird claymation.
What?
Yeah, it was trippy.
I kind of want to see that.
A bunch of like circles and stuff. And that's about it.
So what was the number 1 song? Do you remember for that week?
Big shocker. Guest was Olivia Newton-John. It was an Olivia Newton-John song.
Okay. Physical.
It wasn't physical. It was one, I forget. And that's pretty much it. The top 10 countdown, the weird dancing, the stand-up comedian, Madame on there twice. But like Pete said, it's a huge variety from Dr. Hook to Huey Lewis to you had Sting. There's comedians, puppets.
Can I confess that I also watched an episode?
Yes.
It's a trifecta.
It's
I
a
think that's the
trifecta.
first time that's ever happened.
We got to chug our beers and
Yeah.
then smash the glasses on the floor.
Yeah.
You first.
Season 4, episode 1.
Okay.
So the date was September 11 of 83. And the Madeline McCoo or whatever, she was the host, but Ricky Nelson was the co-host. And I think he wasn't I think it was just like for that episode.
Oh, wow. Garden party.
Exactly, which it was weird. And they had a lot of, I don't know about Andy Gibb, but I thought the banter between them, it was like watching a high school talent show. Banter.
I recently went to a high school talent show, and it was pretty bad.
I was at that same talent show, and it reminded me exactly of that.
Fantastic.
It was like scripted, but they didn't know the script very well, and so it really cracked me up.
That's great.
Aside from what you guys have said, the Madame, the puppet, was totally weird.
She was on season 4 as well.
Yes, 2 spots, and the best part of the whole deal was her second spot where out of nowhere Scott Baio appears. So Scott Baio makes a cameo with
Madame,
and she starts hitting on him like talking dirty, like that PG-13 dirty to him.
I love it.
And then forcibly makes out with him against his will.
The puppet? Yeah. And Baio and Charles in charge.
Yes, Scott Baio.
Man.
Chachi. She kept calling him Chachi.
That's fantastic.
So that puppeteer clearly blackmailed somebody like really hard.
Correct.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. And there was also a weird montage that they made of football players. It looked like some college football players.
Brian Bosworth?
No. So these football players in 1983 football gear lip syncing to Rick Springfield Human Touch. Do you remember the Human Touch song?
I think so.
Not a well-known one. I didn't recognize it, but it was bad. It was bad. one of our favorite bands was on the show, the Motels.
Oh, God.
They're on.
I thought you were going to say Phil Collins.
No, I wish Phil
Motels.
Collins is on.
Motels
Yeah,
can
Rick
take a
James
hike.
performed the Motels. Guess the number one song, September 11, 83.
September 11, 83. Ooh, this is a fun game. The number one solid gold song in September
And
of
it's I think they take it from the Billboard, so they're taking it from the Billboard Hot 100.
Duran Duran Rio.
Good guess, but no, not even in the top 10.
Yeah.
It's from a movie. Well, if I say the movie,
Is it Against All Odds?
no,
Is it from Caddyshack?
no,
Vacation.
no,
Top Gun.
no.
I'm just-
This is good podcasting
Yeah.
right here.
Flashdance.
What a feeling.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the song Flashdance.
No,
Jeez.
Just tell us the damn song.
Maniac. She's a maniac.
That's from Flashdance?
Isn't it Flashdance or is it?
I don't know.
think so.
Yeah, or is it the show? What was that show? Was it Flashdance? The show?
Fame?
Fame.
Fame. I think it's from Fame.
Let's move on.
So the guy is Michael Cimbala. That's his name, Michael Cimbala.
Super.
That's really good.
And this is what my note says of Michael Cimbala. I mean, everybody knows that song, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nobody
Yeah.
knows who sings it.
Correct. This guy does not look anything like you would expect him to look. Does not look like
Like a fat, bald insurance salesman or something?
pretty close.
Hillbilly Jim?
Pretty close. This is how I have it written in my notes. Maniac performance. Black wife beater, hairy chest, bearded, looks like a Wisconsin dad grilling in summer. Plays Eddie Van Halen licks on the guitar. So he plays he starts on the keyboard, and then there's a guitar solo, and he starts doing the taps, the guitar, the Eddie Van Halen taps. He's all over the place.
Fantastic.
Nice.
So-
More than anyone wanted to know about Solid Gold.
I know. We've definitely covered that.
Yeah, we covered that. Should I carry on with notes? We got more.
Oh, shit.
The mailbag.
Yeah,
we got a
let's
bit
go.
of a mailbag here. I'll try to be quick. Speaking of solid gold, this is from Anonymous Statistician. This was the first time Ryan was a solo yes vote, because we asked on that video.
Ah.
Yeah.
However, he has been a solo no vote 7 times. What else? This is from Tyler in Madison. He said, I'm pretty excited to receive my ticket to the promised We Will Fly listeners out and have 50th episode on the Love Connection set. We must have claimed we were going to fly everybody here.
That's actually a great claim.
I wrote back, oops, oh yes, we put Conky in charge of all travel arrangements for honored guests.
Just look in the mail. Look in the mail. It'll be there.
Send your complaints to Conky.
That's right.
And then Tyler also added, I've been trying to put together my top 5 favorite episodes of the year, and I'm really struggling. So many good ones. His number 1 is definitely Gimme a Break. His favorite episode of ours.
Oh, yeah. Those lyrics were something else.
Yes, they were.
I'd like to give a little shout out. Our biggest non-Wisconsin listeners, Florida, California, and the Netherlands.
Wow.
None of this makes sense.
To our Dutch listeners, reach out.
Absolutely.
Tell us about
Thank
yourself.
you.
Drop us a line.
How are you? What are you wearing?
Kind, loving, good-natured people.
Yes.
It's our target audience.
Yes. Good beer, too.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Dutch listeners, I was about to say fans. Let's not overstep our bounds. Dutch listeners, tell us what's up. Thanks for listening. 2 more quick things. I know it's been a lot. Yura, our longtime listener and friend in Finland, was listening to the TJ Hooker episode. This has been in the mailbag
God
for a while.
bless him.
And he said, it wrapped up with a John hyperbole for the ages. I said, quote, Facts of Life is one of the greatest songs ever written. And he writes, and you sounded so sincere saying it. So, well, that was, I got through that pretty quickly.
Yeah. Thank you.
So that's that. What a fun catch-up. I love that we had the trifecta on Solid Gold.
That's got to be a first.
Yeah.
And a wide variety of shit going on that show.
Yeah.
But we all agree that the dancers were weird.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, gosh.
But that was like one of the, like, everything that I think was weird apparently was very popular with the audience.
That's what struck me as fascinating about that show, is that people liked it.
It had a long run.
Right.
I mean, I think it has I would like it for just the variety of music, and,
Yeah.
you know, I like 80s music, so, like, that is very appealing. But the whole format and everything else that they put in there is just weird.
It's weird.
It seems to me that it's the type of show that could only exist in the 80s ecosystem. Like it, you know, in a pre-internet, like, you know, it started before MTV.
Right. You can understand why there was an audience up until MTV. After MTV, it's just the people who, like, we didn't get cable till late. Pete, you guys didn't have cable, right?
Right.
We did.
Oh, you did? Right, early?
Yes.
Okay, we did not early. So, like, I would have been watching that until we finally convinced my parents to get cable.
But doesn't it also feel like it was the kind of show that if they were like tracking viewers, I feel like 70% of them just had it on and they were doing something else. Like,
it's a great show to fold laundry to.
correct. Like, like vacuuming, like whatever.
But
right?
if you're into popular culture, whatever, and you have an internet, like, this is how, you know, you find out about
right,
see what your favorite bands look like,
correct,
Right.
and you
no
know,
internet.
all this, you know.
Good background, though. You're right. You're sorting through your baseball cards and
Right.
Solid Gold's on.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Okay.
Well, there we have it. That was a fun little catch-up, and, man, more Solid Gold than anybody wanted. We give that to you. I think, is there any other announcements, comments, shit like that?
No.
Well, there's only one thing left to do. Let's wake up Conky.
Ready to assist you. Pee-wee.
Morning, Conky.
What's today's secret word?
Today's secret word is Tenspeed and Brown Shoe. Now,
What?
unlike normal weeks where we discuss our memories, Conky knows that nobody's heard of this show and has downloaded all the information instantly.
Your brain is, you don't have to go through any weird clamps.
Nope.
Tenspeed and
Can
Brown
we just
Nose?
talk about
What is this?
Tenspeed and Brown Shoe. So I think first, John, what genre
Ooh, I like this.
of show would you say this could be?
I'm feeling like Bloodhound Gang. Do you guys remember the Bloodhound Gang on PBS?
Yeah.
Like a Hardy Boys type thing?
Okay.
I'm picturing like teenage or preteen crime solvers.
Crime solvers. Okay, and Ryan, what would you say is the dynamic between the Tenspeed and Brown
Nose?
Shoe?
Brown shoe.
Brown shoe.
Brown. I think it's a pet and a human.
Oh, okay.
What do you think the pet is? Chimpanzee?
Oh, I hope so. I hope.
Giraffe.
I hope.
Giraffe. Yes.
That'd be great.
Do you think it's animated or live action?
This sounds to me like an early 80s live action show, not an animation show. I have no idea, of course.
Now, obviously, none of have we heard of this?
Never.
No.
Like I not even a kernel of idea that this show
Yeah.
ever existed.
Yeah. Which is so why we just went through what you guys. So it's a person and an animal possibly solving crimes.
Yeah, like teenager.
Yeah.
So like Lassie?
The crime solving is kind of a common thread. So Conky asked 3 AI engines to describe an imaginary show called Tenspeed and Brown Shoe that has nothing to do with the actual show.
I like
Like
this.
So AI just invented it.
I like this.
So Gemini, that's the Google. Tenspeed and Brown Shoe is an imaginary crime procedural following Leo Tenspeed Maxwell, a former pro cyclist turned bicycle messenger. They went real literal, I think, with the names.
Okay.
An underground fix-it man and Detective Sergeant Beatrice Brown Shoe Jenkins, a cynical but sharp police
Beatrice
detective.
Brown Shoe.
Yep. As they tackle Viridius City's most baffling cases, their unlikely partnership begins when Leo's street-level observations provide crucial insight into a series of high-stake art heists.
Jeez.
Yeah. And then there's a gang called the Cartographer. Oh, sorry, that's a criminal mastermind, a shadowy organization stealing ancient maps and navigation tools, forcing them to navigate the city's underbelly and its official channels in a thrilling race against time. So that was Gemini's.
They're a little more detailed than us saying it's a teenager and a giraffe.
Yeah, well,
I
I wasn't expecting you guys to dive into that.
Yeah.
Like,
All right, so that's Gemini's guess?
yes, Chat GPT, I'll get that one of these years. This one's great. They also went a bit literal on some of the... In a retro-futuristic 1980s-inspired world, Tenspeed and Brown Shoe follows the adventures of a wisecracking, sentient AI embedded in a vintage bicycle.
Wow.
So Tenspeed's literally a bicycle.
okay.
And his socially awkward partner, a forensic podiatrist turned detective named Brown Shoe.
Chat GPT for the win.
Nice.
Together they investigate bizarre crimes across New Los Angeles, where victims mysteriously vanish, leaving only their shoes behind.
It's great.
That is good.
They
We need a
uncover
podiatrist to solve this.
They uncover a deeper conspiracy involving a sinister megacorp called Soul Tech, which is harvesting human footsteps to power a secret time travel device.
Oh,
Amazing.
I like that one.
Yeah.
So that's Chat GPT. MS Copilot. Again, in a world of elite couriers, bicycle messengers,
There we go.
fast-talking delivery legend Ezekiel Tenspeed Jones and meticulous ex-accountant Harold Brown Shoes Bartlett form an unlikely duo navigating high-stakes deliveries and underground package circuits. When a mysterious parcel puts them in the crosshairs of smugglers, rogue agents, and mercenary couriers, they must use street smarts and precision to unravel its secrets and yada yada.
ChatGPT gets the win on that one. The
For sure.
the podiatrist.
The
Podiatrist and an AI embedded bicycle. That's
So before you tell us, were any of those three close to the real show?
so MS Copilot has an 10-speed is an accountant. Brown Shoe is an accountant.
And that's correct?
And that is correct. But I mean, it could have just known that through gathering its
Got
own
it.
AI. I was actually considering that as a check against Copilot because I
Right.
told it to invent something not based on the original show. But they picked an accountant anyways. So
So we've got 4 scenarios for what this show is. 3
Yeah.
from AI and 2 from you and I
Yeah.
spitballing for a
Yeah.
second.
Yeah. But all of them were kind of detective
True.
buddy shows. So it's a detective comedy that
Okay.
aired on ABC from January to June of 1980.
Ooh, short run.
Yeah, one season, 14 episodes.
And starting mid-season, right? The January
I-
start.
yeah, it was
How many
January
episodes?
14. Yeah.
Not even a full season.
And I feel like the first few episodes actually didn't have that bad of ratings, but then I guess things just didn't really go anywhere. It was created by Stephen J. Cannell. This was his first swing at a concept of a right side of the law crime fighter working with an ex-criminal. His next attempt at that concept was Hardcastle and
I was
McCormick.
about to
just
say,
gonna
this
say, are you
sounds
kidding me?
exactly
Yeah.
like Hardcastle and McCormick.
Yeah, so we basically had the same concept, just reworked a little bit. Second time obviously worked a little better. So we've got E.L. Turner, a.k.a. 10-Speed. He's played by Ben Vereen. He's a hustler.
Ben Vereen is in this show?
Yeah. He's just
Speaking
wait,
of
just
PBS.
wait.
Yeah.
He's a hustler. He kind of gets roped into becoming a private investigator, something to do with his parole requirements. Lionel Brown Shoe Whitney, Jeff Goldblum,
What?
Whoa. Heavy hitters.
an accountant who always wanted to be a private investigator.
Of course.
The first episode involved stolen diamonds, Nazis, and the mafia, and featured Richard Romanus as Crazy Tommy Tedesco and Larry Manetti as Chip Vincent. So I have no idea what those characters were. There is very little information
Not
about this show
surprising.
in general. So the song, though, composed by Pete Carpenter and Mike Post.
Mike Post theme again?
Post is back.
Yep.
Wow.
So that duo, Rockford Files, A-Team, Magnum P.I., Hunter, Hardcastle, Chips, Greatest American Hero. So we've got, despite a dud of a show, they had, they might have had a good song.
We've never been fooled by good songwriters writing bad songs. So. Well, that's interesting. 14 episodes. That's a typical season is around 24 episodes, I
Right.
think.
I mean,
so,
most traditional seasons, I think, started in September and would run till May or June.
So
right?
this was a
it's-
mid-year, maybe they had something else.
Something
thinking.
got canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
like
they-
literally it made it 3 months.
Wow.
And Vereen had been around by then. I mean, he'd been in Roots and stuff, right? That's from the 70s.
I'd have
Right.
to look at his.
Actually, now I'm confused because I said January to June, but 14 episodes every week. That's 14 weeks.
Yeah.
Three-
Well,
Yeah.
give or take.
Whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I stand by those
But
numbers.
Goldblum, that's like pre-Fly, The Fly, and
Could be,
stuff. Yeah, I mean that's I think from later in the 80s. So, but those are
Yeah. Absolutely.
those are heavy hitters.
I'm intrigued
Yes.
by this.
I
So,
am also.
are you guys ready?
Let's listen to it.
Yep. Oh boy.
Well, we got a bicycle bell,
Yeah, it sounds like a paperboy.
and then we got some French horns. Bum, 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 bum.
yeah. George Martin on the production.
I was about to
Yeah.
make a Beatles reference too. He loved them.
Yep.
He loved those horns.
Is that a banjo?
You bet your ass that's a banjo. I love what's going on so far.
Yeah.
It's great. I want to start out by saying that I really like what's happening.
There's a lot going on.
I am a bit confused by the juxtaposition of the French horn and the banjo.
Yeah. Doodle-doodle. And there's kind of a thick bass I think going on back there too.
The melody is instantly catchy.
Yep.
But it sounds not like a detective show.
It sounds like something that I can't put my finger on quite yet, but I'll get there.
Yeah, I'm feeling something here
Yeah.
too. Okay.
A game show?
Not quite, but yeah. I'm feeling almost like a Nickelodeon kids show that was kind of a low budget Nickelodeon kids show, live action.
Okay. It doesn't sound right, but it has like a Dallas feel to it.
I'm feeling that too.
You know,
We're riding the same 10-speed.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking of. Maybe it's just that early, very early 80s kind of production and instruments.
Did all of you guys have a classic, what I would call a classic 80s looking 10-speed with the curved handlebars?
No.
No.
Just me?
Yes.
Yes.
I got it at a hardware store.
Makes sense.
Do you remember Coast to Coast that was located at Northgate?
No.
Kind of.
Do you remember Northgate?
Yes.
There was a Coast to Coast hardware store there.
There was a Wolf Cycle there. That's where I got my BMX that I rode from 2nd grade through like 10th grade.
Nice.
It was an off-brand 10-speed called a Ventura.
Ventura, huh?
Nice.
Yeah. And anyway, that was a little 10-speed tangent.
Was the shifter like on the...
Yeah, the two little black long
Yeah.
shifters.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
praying mantis
On the
arms.
neck or down on the frame?
On the frame, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
If you had curly
Like
bars.
you had to reach
yeah.
down.
Those
Get
old
it?
ones are on the frame.
I'll see if I can find a picture later.
Right next to your Mr. T fan club. Wait, what is that?
Is this the Eagles now?
Yeah, exactly.
This is like an outtake from an Eagles album.
Yes. It's long run.
Was that was that a little slide guitar, or was that just a?
Do you want me to back it up a few
Yeah, I
seconds?
actually do.
Sounded more like well, let's hear it.
Yeah.
I would say a slide guitar, right?
Yeah,
No?
slidey.
Yeah.
Slidey something.
I mean, now we're getting into the action adventure again in Mike Post,
I almost
style.
The first part almost had a Murder She Wrote type vibe with
Yes.
that footloose and fancy free.
Yep. But now we're
Almost
adding
English.
drama.
It sounds British or English at the beginning.
Well, it's that damn French horn
It
that
really
keeps getting in
is.
your craw, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely hearing Eagles in that guitar. Who's the guy in the Eagles who nobody thinks about? Timothy B. Schmidt?
he's the bass player.
Oh. who's playing lead? Glenn?
No, Don Felder played lead.
Felder.
Felder
And then
Joe
Joe
Walsh.
Walsh later. Pete's just looking at us like we're insane.
I couldn't. I mean, who memorizes the not important Eagles?
Ryan.
Who says there's not? They're all important. The Eagles. Every one of them. Every one of them.
I'm so sure about that. There's the Dallas show you're talking about.
Yeah.
Those horns are less George Martin and more Dallas.
Correct. But the darn banjo player is now not just plucking; he's strumming through.
Yeah, this is Flat and Scruggs right
Correct,
here. This is
yeah.
Foggy Mountain, whatever breakdown.
Mm-hmm. Has that banjo been the only constant through the whole thing?
Well, damn French horn.
Horn's been pretty busy.
Yeah, yeah. It sounds to me like a frickin' horn duel is what it sounds like. You got two horn players, one playing, and then the other one go. It's like back and forth, back and forth. Bum, 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 da-na-na-na-na. Yeah,
Call and answer?
Correct.
Oh yeah, a call and response. They're they're chatting in horn language.
Yeah.
Did I hear like one hit of a cowbell?
Possibly back it up. We got time. Our listeners want more.
More 10-speed. I heard it.
Wow.
I heard it. Nice.
Engineer Pete.
One cowbell.
That man knows his cowbell.
Yes. Well done.
Then
And
she's-
right back into her.
Why not? Round 2.
It really, there's something else it reminds me of, and it might have to come up on another episode when it comes to me.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
You know what it reminds me of? Do you remember the song? Is happiness is
Three kinds of ice cream, daytime and nighttime too.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah?
That's an elementary school song.
Yeah. Happiness is.
Yeah. The Peanuts.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
Sure. Kudos on the end.
Did you guys have bells on your bike?
No.
No.
I did. Oh, come on. You didn't have a 10-speed or a bell?
No.
Did you have a bell on your 10-speed?
No, I had a bell on my Huffy Thunder 50.
All right.
American flag bell. Remember those?
Nice.
Yeah, I do remember
Yeah.
those, yeah.
Yeah, I had a Huffy Thunder 50, and then I took off the original grips and put on some mushrooms.
Oh,
Nice. I should have had a bell because when I was blasting down the sidewalk, I could have at least warned people to get out of the way.
Look out, Engineer Pete's coming on his Takara.
Oh, boy.
I cannot wait to see this because what I'm seeing in my mind, I'm guessing, is not what what's happening on the actual show.
A sentient bicycle and a podiatrist turned detective.
How's Conky's belly? He's sleepy. Come on, Conky. Do you remember how sleepy Conky used to be in our first 10 or 15 episodes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No bueno.
Hey, Conky's tum-tum's waking up. So Conky has a screen in his stomach that I think I've mentioned before, and you got to kind of whap him around a little bit to get it to turn on. Can we back up his tummy closer to Pete's thighs?
God.
Trying to make it as awkward as possible.
Jeez Louise.
You are. Successful.
All right. Can you see it?
Oh, I can see it.
And Pete, does it feel good on your thigh?
Sure, John.
Okay. Let's watch. There it is.
10-speed.
Pause. That's a classic 10-speed. You see those handlebars?
Yeah. And so right in the opening shot, we've got the name of the show.
Yeah.
And there's a bicycle, and there's a man standing in the background with brown shoes.
Sure enough.
Yeah, I kind of like the font.
I do too.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of something again, and I can't put my finger. But I do like the font. It's very simple, listeners. It's not big. It's not exploding. It's just
correct.
white font. It says 10-speed on the top and brown shoe. So is that a Cadillac?
I think that's a Cadillac.
Yeah.
All right. And we've got somebody going into the trunk of a Cadillac.
I'm gonna guess that is 10-speed right there. He's a hustler. He's might be doing something illegal.
He's up to no good.
Do you guys miss opening trunks by unveiling the keyhole and putting the key in there and opening it up again?
I mean, I never had a car that fancy, but I always thought that was pretty cool.
I always thought there was something relatively satisfying about the click of a trunk opening.
Yeah, the key, there's no key entry anymore, right? Everything is like non-key.
Handles and shit.
Yeah.
Do you guys miss the big old locks on doors that you'd push down and pull up on like a car door?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, with the little metal thing on the top.
We should, when we start our car company,
bring it back.
we're going to have listeners. We want you to invest in our vehicles. And we're going to have trunks that you need to use keys to open. And we're going to have old school locking mechanisms.
And we're going to put the license plate as you open a license
Gas
plate
tank.
and the gas tank in there. That was my favorite. We'll put the electric charger. We'll make it electric, an EV car.
Yeah, right.
Plug it right in the ass.
All right.
Plug it in the ass. So we're seeing...
This is our buddy Brown Shoe.
We're seeing Brown Shoe, and he is dressed as
He's
a
a pilot.
Pilot, or yeah. He's a hustler, so he
Okay.
might use different disguises for his different,
All right.
schemes.
Love it.
He's doing a lot of running.
There's a
Yes.
lot.
I
Those
get the feeling he's being chased a lot.
they don't look like the most comfortable shoes to be running.
No.
Is he in the?
He's in suits all the time.
Is he in the can here?
It looks like it.
He's in the bathroom wearing a tux.
Yeah. A backwards tux? I'm so confused.
Or is that a...
Oh, there's classic. There, we didn't get a good look at his
Ben.
face till now.
Ben.
But yeah, there's classic Ben Vereen. All right, wearing a suit.
young.
Dapper. Oh boy,
Also young. Wow. Jeff?
is this pre The Fly?
Yeah. I think the fly's like 87.
Oh, geez, I'm way
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, so he looks super young.
Goldblum.
I don't think I've ever seen Goldblum punch anybody in any movie.
He looks very serious.
That's
Yeah,
Jeff
he's
Goldblum.
an accountant, and he's infatuated with
Numbers?
private eyes, books, and yeah. He's the one who takes it seriously.
He puts the 10 in 10
No, he
speed.
just smiled. He's not all serious.
Oh,
Hey!
there. Now we get our reference to future Hardcastle McCormick. There's a jumping red car. Pete, any?
It's hard from that side profile.
AMC? What is
It could be. It could be an AMC.
Is it a duster?
No,
God.
it's not a duster. I can say that much.
That is a strange body configuration, though. Look at that thing.
Part of me wants to say like a Marlin, but then I'm like, is that even a car?
Wow.
Now more
There's
car
a-
chases, but with a limousine.
Right.
And now so as listeners, as we're watching this, the names came up of Ben Vereen and of Jeff Goldblum, and now they're talking about the writers and shit. And we're seeing
Yeah.
Mike Post and Pete Carpenter as the musical writers. All right,
These late 70s, early 80s like vehicles are hilarious. I mean, they're
Yes.
all metal.
Oh, yeah.
They're huge. They're all metal.
heavy vehicles.
Yes, heavy vehicles. It's just really funny to see.
Do people use primer on cars anymore? I feel like you used to see a lot of that back in the day too.
I don't know.
I don't know.
No, you don't see it as much. You're right.
Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
We'll throw in a free gallon of primer
There
Our
you go.
car will come with primer,
Sure. Why not?
because
Push
it's going to
down.
rust.
door locks, flip up trunk. So we don't usually see though the name of the songwriters in the
True.
credits. So these guys demand respect. And it's just, a bunch of big old boats
Yeah.
coming out of parking ramps, fishtailing around corners, driving through newsstands, doing that.
I've got to say, this show doesn't really this intro gives you zero idea as to what the show is about and what the
Right.
characters are like.
Except
You're
there's going
right.
to be chasing. running around.
Yeah.
Some vehicles.
But there's they show the bicycle at the beginning. It leaves a lot of mystery.
Like you literally would look at this and like be not be sure if 10-Speed and Brown Shoe, which characters, well, I guess you'd figure that part out, but like, are they criminals? Is one a criminal and the other's a cop chasing him? Are they, like, you just don't know.
They're not
which is pretty funny.
They're not selling it.
No.
Maybe that was part of the problem.
Maybe. Seems like it had a few problems.
Yeah.
But, yeah. There you go. 10-Speed and Brown Shoe. Wow.
Never thought I would be introduced to that.
If there's one thing that this show has done is it's opened up our eyes to some weird-ass shows that existed in the 80s.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm thankful for that.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Well, we've listened, we've watched, we've learned. Only one thing left to do.
Yeah.
Let's vote on this sumbitch.
All right.
As you know, listeners, all it takes is 2 votes to get on the Wall of Fame or Wall of Shame. Who would like to start this week? Any volunteers?
Ryan?
Sure,
I volunteer you.
Sure. I give this a great big Michelle.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You're in big trouble, mister.
Well, I'll go next to create a little drama. That song was great. Loved it.
I'll be back.
Yeah, it reminds me of Happiness Is from elementary school. I like the banjo. I like the French horns. It's Beatles meets bluegrass.
I am conflicted on this one. It like I do have that melody in my head right now, and I could see myself humming it possibly tomorrow at various points in the day. But it's I don't know. I'm gonna give it a reluctant Arnold.
I'll be back.
What are you guys doing to me over here?
Hanging you out to dry.
Yeah. Imagine you're going to the Big Woo concert or the String Cheese Incident, and they bust out this song. You're going to be having the best day ever.
There's nothing redeemable about that melody. That melody is so nondescript, and the French horn is going
unique.
crazy.
You're saying it's not Mike Post's best work.
No, although in its defense, it's not bad. It's not terrible. It's just not good.
Yeah, and it was just barely onto the good side for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was being a little silly about how it's not great, but
It's
I
not
didn't,
terrible.
I didn't dislike it, and I love hearing a banjo.
Yeah.
What other song are we going to get on this show where we get a banjo and a French horn together?
80s were strange times.
We got
True.
like 150 episodes to find out.
Darn tootin'.
Yeah. So Hardcastle and McCormick was our lowest listened episode, right? Up to this point.
I would have to check, but yeah, that seems likely.
How much lower do you think we go with 10-Speed and Brown Shoe?
If nothing else, I feel the complete weirdness, and nobody will have heard of this, might get a few people to dive in.
Darn right.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see. The two Canal productions head to head for our lowest rating.
Is there more shows under his belt?
I'd have to check.
Or was that the end of it?
I'd have to check, but
He went back to podiatry
had
after that.
he
He
might have had a
had
good
one
run.
idea, and he cashed it out with Hardcastle McCormick.
I think he did. He might have been involved in the Rockford Files or some other cop drama shows as
Okay.
well. So
Sure.
we might hear of him again.
Any other comments or questions or hypotheticals before we say bid adieu to 10-Speed and Brown Shoe? Hey, that rhymed.
So if you two back in lacrosse
I love this.
were a
reframing.
crime-fighting duo, what would the name of your show be?
That's a great show.
Ooh. I think it would be, what would our show be?
Slap Ass and Happy Tunes.
All right, that was what I was looking for. All right, we're done.
That's fantastic. I'm going to go with Orange Crush in Parliament
There you go.
because he
I like
drank
that one,
orange
too.
soda and I
Yeah.
smoked cigarettes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay.
All right, that's a great question, Pete. I like
just
this theme.
starting all of them in lacrosse.
Gotta start somewhere.
John and Ryan lived together for 2 years. Let's pick it apart. Well, shit, that was fun and ridiculous, and every week it's a trip to figure out what the hell we're going to be listening to.
Indeed.
Well, until next week, we look forward to jumping back in. But until then, I'm John.
I'm Tenspeed.
And I'm Parliament.
And you've been listening to the Super 80s podcast friend, where the towels are hers, and the solid gold dancers. Woo-hoo.